Get out of your own way. Seriously, move on. Easier said than done, isn't it? Most of us can fight other people when they become critical, say nasty things, or say things that they should not. But when it comes to us, a part of us that stands inside our minds and says nasty, mean, really critical things, we feel paralyzed. We have no clue how to deal with it. Let's talk about this genuinely critical problem because one of you asked me this question on my Instagram page and said, I don't know how to go around it, especially during the lockdown when I am stuck with myself and the part of me that is self-critical does not leave me alone whatsoever. Welcome to Absolutely Right, the very first graphology-based podcast show in India. My name is Aditi Surana. I'm your host. I'm a graphologist and a high-performance coach. And on our Friday short episode, I come up with some coaching fundas for you to deal with genuine, everyday problems with the help of graphology, graphotherapy, and a powerful technique called graphojournaling. So today we're going to talk about two graphology strokes that talk about self-criticism and one graphojournaling question that can change things around that one area right away. Before I give you all the coaching gyan about this topic, let me share my struggle with this whole area of self-criticism. A few years ago, I was just 30 and I was going through a divorce. Now, being a high-performance coach, you're supposed to know things and succeed and never look like a failure. At least those were my ideas as a perfectionist that I was. And eventually I realized that that's not working. Because every time I started talking about other people's emotional journeys, looked at their handwriting and had so much to offer, a part of me stood inside my head, rolled her eyes and said things like, oh, you know how to deal with it, is it? Sounds interesting. Why would you not implement that for yourself? And then, instead of dealing with what was happening in the session, I battled with that inner voice and tried to get myself back again. Until one day, I said, I'm not going to put up with this and I have to change it because at the end, that part of me is also me. And it is not coming from somewhere else, but I am creating it. Now, this is what we're going to learn with the help of handwritten journaling because somewhere we have to throw light on all these dark areas and not let them take control of our lives. The minds and bodies are kind of similar. The way you eat food and it shapes your body. Similarly, the way you think your thoughts and your feelings, it shapes your mind. And when the mind is structured in a particular way, we keep repeating the same pattern. So always remember, you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts happen to you. They come to you. You get triggered in a certain way. But they're not always true. They're not always right. And when you walk into this question, when you walk into this journaling experience with that clarity, it would help you to see things for what they are. Graphologically speaking, there are two strokes in your handwriting that talk about a default self-critical mechanism. First is your signature. If there is any underline, any stroke, any encircling that goes from right side of the page to the left side of the page, then you do have default self-critical mechanism. Or in lowercase t, if the horizontal line of the T moves from right side to the left, then you are self-critical. Now, graphology is a precise study. It's very mathematical. So if you do the same thing in your letter Y, then self-criticism is not applicable. It's only in the letter T and in your signature. Okay, so remember, from right side to the left side, if the strokes go reverse, the self-criticism is very evident. Now, what if you don't have this handwriting stroke and you still criticize yourself? What does that mean? That means that right now you're going through a doubtful phase and we have to deal with it. But in both these cases, the next technique of graphojournaling will come really handy. Let's understand what is this graphojournaling technique. So there are 3 steps to follow. First, I'm going to ask you a solution-oriented question. But when I ask you that question, it may trigger you. It may really make you feel uncomfortable before you answer it. But wait, do not answer the question right away. Before you jump in the solution-oriented part, first do the S-stroke practice, that is your step 2. S-stroke is your graphotherapy practice. Technically, we call it flow of thoughts. It is a breath coordinated physical movement. You can learn the stroke carefully on the link aditisurana.com/Kama Sutra. It is CALM. It allows you to be calm. That is the pun intended, okay? Step 3 is when you set a timer for just 15 minutes and write anything and everything that comes to your mind on the paper, unedited, uncensored. Just say whatever you have to say. This is where the flow works, gives you the release required for you to look at things which are otherwise hidden from you. To deal with self-criticism, self-sabotaging, or standing in your own way, the question is, why would a part of you stand against against you and try to poke you, say nasty things, wouldn't allow you to be calm and happy, what is it trying to do? Why would you do that? We won't slap ourselves for no reason. We won't push ourselves off the cliff for no reason. If you're doing it over and over again, there must be a reason. And the reason is it wants to protect you. You heard me right. There are irrational but genuine fears that we all carry around. And when those fears get activated, when they get triggered by situations and people around, we really do not want to feel that same fear, that sense of dying inside over and over again. So before you could put yourself through that situation, that part, that conscious part, that careful part, that protective part really pulls you back by saying things that are mean, nasty, and really, really hurtful so that you won't hurt yourself further. If you think self-criticism is my problem, so what? I can live with it. I will deal with the consequences. Then let me give you a quote by one of my favorite authors and poetess, Anais Nin. She says, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." Think about it. Probably your self-criticism is taking you a few steps behind every single time that you want to move forward. And that is not fun at all. So take a moment and think about 3 things that you say to yourself when you're being extremely critical. And then you'll apply the journaling question. The question is, what is the unexpressed fear underneath this self-critical statement? Let me repeat the question. What is my unexpressed fear or fears underneath this self-critical statement? Before you answer the question, take 5 minutes to complete 1 page of this S-stroke practice. All you require is a ruled book and a ballpoint pen. And then move to step 3, set a timer for 15 minutes and say everything that comes to your mind. Now, your truth is shaping your mind in the way it is. So there is no right or wrong answer. Say whatever comes to your mind. It might not be the perfect thing, but we all require that catharsis to see things for what they are. I'm going to leave you with that question. If you want to know more about graphology, graphotherapy, book a session with me, have me coach you on different areas of your life, then go ahead and visit the website aditisurana.com. Share this conversation with anybody who is constantly falling into the same trap of being self-critical. Let them use the journaling technique, the beautiful S-stroke, and see the wonder. The S-stroke practice looks so beautiful. Just make a photograph, make a video, and tag my Instagram handle at aditisurana for us to share your story with the whole community so that other people get inspired by your journey. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please do that. Comment in the comment section about all your questions and experiences. Let's connect on Wednesday with one more episode of Absolutely Right. Till then, happy writing.